Where is God in the midst of this? I often think about the children of Israel. After they were freed from bondage, they were caught in an in-between stage. They weren't quite in the promised land. They didn't know what was ahead of them, but they were caught in the middle and they were asking questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. They felt anxious. They needed to know where they were headed, and they looked in every other direction than towards God, when all God wanted them to do was to trust in God in the midst of it all. They couldn't see where they were going. They didn't know how good it would be, but God knew that it was better than where they were. And I believe that even in the midst of where we are headed towards something, as Daryl and Amaya sang, that is going to be bigger and better than where we have been, because God is in the mind-blowing business. And so all we have to do is hold on and to trust in God that where we are headed is better than where we've been. And so as we prepare this evening for this question and answer session, I invite you all to pray with us, that we might pray together to the one who is always faithful. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we acknowledge you in this moment, the way maker, the miracle worker, the provider, our Jehovah Jireh. We come to you this evening acknowledging that we don't know what's ahead of us, that we have questions and that we need answers to those questions. But we ask that you would help us to focus upon you, to trust that you have our best at heart, to trust that you know the plans for each of our lives and that you will bring them to fruition. But in the meantime, we ask that you would grant us grace, that you would grant us peace, that you would shower us with your love, that we might be able to hold on, that we might be able to see the you that is in one another, that we might extend that same grace and peace and love to one another, that we all might get through this together. Lord, we love you and we honor you, and we pray that in all that we might think or do, that we would glorify you. It is in your holy, righteous, and matchless name that we pray. Amen.
Reverend Dr. Miles, you always have a way to remind our good Panther family here that God's got our back and God has their back. Thank you so much for those words and blessings this afternoon. Clark-Atlanta University students and viewers and families, we have the committed staff of our CAU Enrollment Management and Financial Services team, along with our team in the Office of Information Technology and Communication with us this afternoon. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce those who will be here with us in this space. Ms. Sharice Peters, our Associate Vice President and Dean of Graduate Admissions. Ms. Lori Sadler, our Associate Vice President and Dean of Undergraduate Admissions. The fabulous Ms. Susan Gibson, our University Registrar. Mr. James Stotts, our Assistant Vice President for the Office of Financial Aid. Ms. Tiana Cheney, our Director of Scholarships and Awards. Ms. Latonia Thompson, the Director of the Office of Student Accounts. And last but not least, Mr. Charles Cooper, our Associate Vice President and Chief Information Officer. For our students and viewers who have joined this session via Zoom, please note that the format for this afternoon's call will be a 1-hour discussion where you will receive helpful guidance for registering for classes, understanding your financial aid, processing student payments, and technical resources for financially enrolled students. And that specifically speaks to laptops, hotspots, and ongoing technical support for the upcoming fall 2020 semester. This interactive experience will allow you to ask questions via Zoom through the Q&A function, in which our staff will be available to answer. while also offering additional guidance and direction to help you secure your best fall 2020 opportunities here at Clark Atlanta University. Now at this time, it is a pleasure for me to welcome the Associate Vice President and Dean for Graduate Admissions, Ms. Sharice Peters, and the Associate Vice President and Dean of Undergraduate Admissions, Ms. Lori Sadler, to bring greetings and opening remarks. Ms. Peters?
Well, so hello. It's a pleasure to see you all in the house today. It's a delight to welcome you on behalf of all the people that support graduate students and graduate student enrollment. In fact, all graduate enrollment. Reverend Miles, I'm going to leave it with where you ended it. It's going to be big. It's going to be better than we would ever have thought before. I appreciate that. For my new students, you probably know me well. We've communicated a lot and will continue to communicate. For my continuing graduate students, it's probably a first introduction, and I'm happy to meet you. You will be getting a personal letter from me within the next few hours, so you'll be able to personally connect. And I'm going to get out of the way, Dean Torres, because there are some important people in the room with some real answers, and we want our students to have them. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Be blessed, be safe, wash your hands, and it's going to be safe.
Ms. Peters, thank you. And now I want to turn it over to Dean Sadler.
Thank you, Dean Torres, and thank you, Ms. Peters. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of our students, graduate and undergraduate, both populations. We thank you for this opportunity to meet with you personally. As Dean Torres said, I am Lori Sadler, and I have the pleasure to serve as the Associate Vice President and Dean of Undergraduate Admission. I've served at CAU for over 10 years in positions in graduate enrollment and now undergraduate enrollment. I'm a very proud alum of this illustrious institution, earning my MBA in 1992. And I am also a very proud mom of a 2020 CAU graduate. And I am a doctoral candidate at the university in our online higher education doctoral program. And along with all of my colleagues, I wish to welcome you back to CAU for the fall 2020 semester. We heard clearly from you, our students, and we understand the challenges posed by COVID-19, and we are sensitive to the adjustments that you are making. The challenges of this global pandemic have caused us, even as an institution, to make some unprecedented adjustments. However, we truly believe the significant advancements that we have made during this time are not only sustainable, but will provide an even greater foundation for a stronger, sustainable CAU. Leaning on our rich history and strong legacy in March, we had to quickly pivot from on-ground instruction to our virtual learning environment within a couple of weeks. And in that process, we not only found a way, we made one. And it is in that same spirit that we approach the dawn of a new semester with the ability to adapt, the tenacity to adjust, and the resilience to move forward. Know that we are here for you as by this information session, and we intend to stay connected with you throughout the enrollment process and throughout the academic year. We wish you all the best this semester as we move forward together. And at this time, I'll turn it back over to Dean Torres and get out of the way, as Ms. Peters said, from some important information that we hope will allow you to move forward together.
Dean Sadler, Dean Peters, thank you so much for your opening remarks here this afternoon. And as Dean Peters said, now it's time for us to officially move this out the way. And I want to kind of set the tone appropriately. We're about to officially move into the jam session, people. So, and at this time, I'm going to appropriately launch it off by turning this space over to our university registrar, Ms. Susan Gibson, to talk with us through the fall 2020 registration process. Ms. Gibson, feel free to take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. And again, as has been said before, we are all excited to be able to assist you through this different process. This term, we're going to be fully online. And so we want to make you aware of those changes that you will have to engage as we deal with the registration and enrollment process. So we'll start off with step one of the registration process. Okay, first of all, we have our important dates that we want to let you know. That's step one. What are those important dates? Right now, a lot of you have been asking about cross-registration. Cross-registration officially began today. It was delayed so that we could make sure we had everything available for you. Okay, now our registration will end on August 18th. That's next Tuesday. You should have everything in place because we want classes to be in place so that you can start class on the first day, which is what? August 19th, Wednesday, okay? And at that time, what we'll begin at that point, you know that you have to engage the system. And so we'll talk about that a little later as well. On Thursday, our drop ed period begins, and then we have our final drop after August 28th. So what do you need to do? Many of you want to know what's the first step within our process. Each one of you first should get advised. You have to get advised. Go to your, as you know, you are assigned a departmental advisor, or you may talk to your departmental chair. You contact that department. However, if you are a freshman or a sophomore, you would contact the Center for Academic Student Success. And that's under the direction of Dr. Cynthia Clem, who is the executive director of that center. Now, juniors and seniors, you're a little bit different. You're juniors, seniors, and graduates. You must contact your department chair and or an advisor within the department. Many of you will the seniors and juniors, you are ready to step into getting ready for graduation. So you need to make sure that you're on track. So you would want to make sure that you speak with someone in the department, not the registrar's office, not anybody else, but in your department. Graduate students, many of your programs are lockstep. So you want to make sure that you are listening to your departmental chair and advisor so you can make sure that you're taking the appropriate steps with your classes. That's the importance of being advised. Now, some of you can refer to our Panther Path Degree Works to ascertain needed courses. And that's accessed through your secured area in Banner Web to get to that. Now, consider listing alternative courses in addition to the primary recommendations of your advisor or your department chair, because there are going to be some courses that are closed. Many of you are already asking about those closed classes and how can you get overrides to get into those classes. Now, right now, the department chairs are working with the deans so that they can increase the number of spaces so that you can automatically go right into Banner Web and access those courses without going through all this paperwork with an override process. And also, once you're advised, before you can do anything else, you must make sure that your advisor gives you a PIN, that personal identification number. They have to give you that, because one of our policies at Clark Atlanta University is that you must be advised before you can access the system so that you can make sure that you're on track. So they will give you that PIN. That gives you the right to go in and register for your classes. And that says, once you get that PIN, that says that it has been sanctioned that you are taking the appropriate classes. So it's going to be very critical that you get the PIN. Now, after that, many of you have been asking about the cross-registration process. And the cross-registration process at Clark Atlanta and the AU Center started, as I say, today. All of our processes are on the CAU website. When you go to the website, you go to the bottom of the web page and you click on administrative offices, and it will list all of the offices that are at Clark Atlanta. So for any registration process, we have moved all of our processes to a digital kind of process for you. I said process 3 times, okay? But we have moved that to a digital way of executing those things that you need. So when you click on the registrar's office, a whole list of all of the different processes that you want, from changing major, from dropping and adding classes, from cross-registration, even the supplemental document for cross-registration is on that page. So make sure you access that when you go out there. Now, as I say, we are fully online. You will have access to your classes on August 19th at 12:01 a.m. At that time, you need to go on and click on Canvas just so that we know that you're engaging the system. And once you engage that system, it's going to tell you the scheduled times the faculty members have for you to personally engage with them, and also to know when the recorded sessions will be. But you will receive all of that information in a document by Wednesday of this week. And that's all I have to say right now. Dr. Torres, what you want me to do now?
Well, Ms. Gibson, there's a question out there with regards to when and how can students go ahead and apply for graduation?
Okay, graduation, you can go out. Now that's a process when you go to advisement. See, this is why it's critical that you get advised. When you talk to your advisor, if you are a senior or a graduating graduate student, that is a time in which you should talk to your advisor on setting the plan. You go in and that person at your departmental advisor will instruct you on what courses you need to complete your degree program. At that time, they can fill out the graduation application because our initial deadline for graduation is September 18th. So that's going to be the first time we will look at that. And those will be sent to Ms. Traversa Ricks. She is our graduate coordinator for undergraduate students. And if you're a graduate student, the department chairs will send those to Ms. Henderson. So that's critical. See that now you see why it's going to be very critical that you go to the advisement portion. There are so many different things that you're going to have to address with your department chairs and your advisors.
Thank you, Ms. Gibson. The next question coming from Ms. Jarvis Billups. Will Degree Works be updated with pass-fail courses?
Degree Works is being updated at this point. Pass-fail courses are already out there. But what if now let it be known now, if you just have a P, that was a D. That will not fulfill your requirement to graduate, nor will it fulfill the prerequisite. It's just we were trying to work with you to make sure that you didn't suffer academically as far as a GPA. But if you have a P, if your department tells you that you have to take that course over because you need to have that C prerequisite requirement, you will have to take that over. Now, many of you who opted to turn the C to a P, that is a P asterisk asterisk. And that makes us know that you have met the prerequisite course and you can move on to the next level. Everybody else will have their A's and B's and we'll know that they can move on.
Ms. Gibson, last question before we move on to our colleagues in financial aid. The course times are being shown from midnight to 11:59. Will the times be updated before August 19th?
The course, as I said, they will log on to your Canvas. Once you access Canvas and you go into that portal, there will be a syllabus out there. And the professors will have a time that is convenient for you, because you got to realize right now with this online learning, we have students in California, we have students in Little Rabbit, Australia, and Cuba Hobby. They're all over the world. So there are different time zones that we have to make sure that we can assist you. So the professor, and we're trying to make sure that those times are convenient for all time zones, but make sure that you engage the syllabus and you engage with your professor so that you will know the days of the engagement. Now, but these courses are recorded. So you can go out and listen to these courses over and over again. There should be no way that you shouldn't pass, because you can listen to one lecture 50 times if you have to get it right, because they will be recorded. And that's for your convenience. How about that?
Ms. Gibson, as always, thank you. Now, for everyone, while we will share the PowerPoint presentations that we will share later on today, we will send those out via email, but how can our students reach the Office of the University Registrar via email?
You can go again on the registrar's webpage. Everybody's email address is out there, and we are responding to our emails as timely as we can. But you got to realize that we do have a plethora of emails coming through, because just as you have a concern 15 to 50 others have a concern. And many of your concerns are just not a one-word answer. Sometimes we even have to research it. So you have to give us the opportunity to intricately deal with your situation. It might be a day, but we are trying to have all of those emails returned within a 24 to a 48-hour period so that you can engage the process. Now, we do need for you to go on and complete your registration and enrollment process, because there are some other things that you're going to hear from Mr. Cooper and Mr. Stotts that will drive how important it is that you need to be in those classes and enroll so we can get some other amenities to you.
Ms. Gibson, as always, thank you for your time this afternoon. We always appreciate you and your team being a part of these programs. At this time, I'd like to appropriately turn our timetable over to our team over in financial aid. And let me go ahead and turn the table over to Mr. James Stotts, our Assistant Vice President for the Office of Financial Aid.
Good afternoon, Panther family. Again, I am James Stotts, and I serve as your Assistant Vice President of Financial Aid here at Clark Atlanta University. The Offices of Financial Aid and the Offices of Scholarships and Awards, we are here to assist you with meeting your educational costs. Therefore, I ask that you please continue to partner with us, and we have been working aggressively trying to get incoming and continuing students financially enrolled for fall 2020. By now, you should have received an electronic award packet from the Office of Financial Aid. Within that award package, you have the award letter, information on costs, instructions on completing all of the electronic processes. Students, before any financial aid funds can be dispersed to your account, your financial aid file must be complete. This means that the federal Stafford and unsubsidized Stafford loans must be in accepted status, the master promissory note signed, entrance loan counseling completed. The Parent Plus loan, which is a credit-based loan, must be in approved status. Parents must complete the master promissory notes for the Plus loan. Parents must also complete entrance loan counseling for the Plus loan. Some students have been notified by the Office of Financial Aid, and they have been selected for verification. We cannot finalize the Students Financial Aid Award until we have received the additional documentation, such as verification worksheets, parents and students' 2018 tax transcript. Once we receive the requested information, we can then move forward with finalizing the award. Fellow Panthers, please take a moment following this session to log on to your Banner Web to see if your financial aid offer is posted. If your financial aid is available, please take the necessary steps to becoming financially enrolled, which includes accepting your award offer. And to accept your award offer, you need to log on to Banner Web. Next slide. Enter the secured area, enter your user ID and PIN, select Student Services and Financial Aid, go to Award Information, select Award by Academic Year, choose the tab to accept award offer, then accept full or partial offer. Select the submit button to finalize your award. Once you submit that information to the financial aid office, it is automatically loaded into our Banner system. The Office of Financial Aid, we are currently working remotely. Please feel free to contact the staff via email. Next slide, please. The financial aid advisors are assigned according to Africa clusters and the student's last name. At this time, you will hear from my director of Scholarships and Awards, Ms. Tiana Cheney.
Hello, Panthers. Thank you so much for Zooming in with us this evening. My name is Tiana Cheney. I've been in contact with many of you via email or over the phone to help you get through this process. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our automatic awards. We can move to the next slide. To begin, many of you for our undergraduate population are familiar with the undergraduate studies program. Under this program, we issue automatic awards for students who meet a certain criteria. That would be completing the FAFSA by the February 1st priority deadline, completing 30 CAU semester hours for the academic year. This does not include summer hours, and full-time registration by May 15th, as well as a 3.25 GPA. So those of you who met that criteria, congratulations, you receive an automatic institutional award. No application necessary. Many of you, all of you who met the criteria should see this award on your banner web. And you also would have received a notification from me to let you know that the award is there. I also want to remind all of you all that we are a UNCF member institution. So please, please, if you have not done so, be sure to register at uncf.org to create a profile and to begin applying for opportunities. There are millions of dollars available through UNCF, and our students are being awarded daily. So please, please do not miss out on this opportunity. Visit uncf.org today to continue to apply or to register and begin applying for scholarship opportunities. Next slide, please. I also want to speak to you a bit about external scholarships. Many of you have reached out and shared that you are anticipating awards from various foundations and organizations. Congratulations for securing those funds. However, in order for us to apply that anticipated aid to your account, we need to have an official award letter indicating the award amount that will be issued. Those award letters are due by July 1st. We realize that some of you have not received notification or you're receiving notification daily. So we're able to work with you as long as you get those award letters to us. Understand that July, August, last part of June, these are very busy months for us. So there will be a delay for anyone submitting an award letter after the deadline to get that anticipated aid applied to your account. Also keep in mind that we can only apply anticipated aid after you have already exercised all available aid. So if you have an unsubsidized or subsidized loan on your account that you have not accepted, we are unable to apply anticipated aid to your account in lieu of the aid that is available to you. But if you have any questions or concerns regarding anticipated aid, feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at tchaney@cau.edu, and I believe most of you have my cell phone number by now. Either way, feel free to contact me and we're happy to work you through the process. Next slide, please. Okay, I want to talk a bit about graduate funding. We received a lot of questions about what does it mean to be full-time as a graduate student and how do I secure institutional funds? So institutional funds are reserved for full-time graduate students. That will require a student to be registered for 9 hours or to be dissertating. If you were dissertating, you would have completed a dissertation form and that gives you a full-time status. So if you are a full-time student, you are automatically reviewed for institutional graduate funds. If you are taking less than full-time, you may appeal for gap funding after you have exhausted all federal aid options. So we will be reaching out to you. Many of you have heard from us, myself and Mrs. Wakisi, reaching out to figure out if you intend to increase your hours or what your financial situation is and how we can assist. But please be aware with the gap funding that we have available, the criteria is very strict. So in order to tap into those gap funds, you do need to first exercise all of your available federal aid options so we can review your account and hopefully be able to assist you. I believe that's all for me right now. I'm sure you all will have many questions once we conclude this session, but I'm going to pass it back to Dean Torres. at this time.
Ms. Cheney, Mr. Stotts, thank you both so much. And let's go ahead and start with this section of the Q&A. And I will put this out for both Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney. If 15 credit hours are required to maintain a university scholarship, but I can only take 12 credit hours, since other courses are not available until the spring, will my scholarship be affected because of this?
For students having that or in that situation, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll work with Mrs. Gibson, our registrar, to figure out what's going on with your class schedule. If that is in fact the case, then we will be able to work with you.
Thank you, Ms. Cheney. Mr. Stotts, how do we fix our financial aid if it only accepted a partial amount instead of a full amount?
So if you've only accepted a partial amount and you now want to accept a full amount, you do have to email the Office of Financial Aid for that increase. And the contact person for that is Ms. Sharita Edmonds. She's our senior financial aid advisor, and she's also over our loan program. Her email address is sedmonds@cau.edu.
Okay, give us 1 second here, because we got a lot of inquiries about So Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney, one of the questions, and obviously we would have held this up to the end of your section, but how do we go about contacting the team in financial aid? Emails and calls are not receiving any responses. And I'm sure this is similar to Ms. Gibson's response regarding emails and questions coming into the registrar's office. So Mr. Stotts.
So first of all, let me apologize if we have not been able to answer your emails. But again, the staff has been working around the clock to assist students with becoming financially enrolled. Included in the financial aid presentation that will be available to students is all of the financial aid staff members' name and email addresses. Please feel free to reach out to the staff again. If you are still having trouble, you can email me, J Stotts, STOTTS @cau.edu.
So first off, Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney, thank you both so much. I'm gonna use this as a good interruption to kind of inform those in attendance this afternoon. We're only accepting questions through the question and answer function, the Q&A function at the bottom of your Zoom screen. So you can feel free to use that button and submit your question, and either one of the members on the Zoom screen will respond through my moderation, or we will have a member of their team responding behind the scenes to your inquiry. So again, you should not use the chat function. You should use the question and answer function on your Zoom screen. I want to make sure that we do that because particularly if we don't get to everybody's inquiries this afternoon, we want to go ahead and record it and make sure that we respond to everybody's inquiries accordingly, even after the session here this afternoon. So we want to make sure we take care of everybody that's actually engaging with this particular program this afternoon. So please use the Q&A, the question and answer function on your Zoom screen. Record your question accordingly. If we do not get to your question during this program, we will make sure and we will follow up before the end of this week regarding your inquiry. So, so we do have several questions with regards to, and Mr. Stotts, this might be appropriate for you. A lot of students are inquiring saying their award packets are incomplete. Is there a particular point in the process where they will be identified as complete?
So I would say right now, I would say 95% of all the awards have been completed. If the students are selected for verification and that process has not been closed out, that award will remain in a pending incomplete status until verification has been completed. So I know Ms. Cheney has posted some scholarships for students that have been selected for federal funding, selected for verification, but the federal aid will not be finalized until that verification process is complete.
And Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney, if you can go ahead probably one more time before we move on to student accounts, if you could both collectively speak to, again, why were institutional awards reduced? Just because we're starting to see still seeing a lot of questions from students with regards to they met the requirements for institutional aid, but they're seeing a lot of reductions. And I don't know if folks actually caught on to the message here this afternoon. So why don't we have either one of you feel free to close that particular loop before we go ahead and move on to our colleagues and student accounts.
Okay, Dean Torres, to answer the questions, I know a lot of the students have emailed and called regarding the reductions, and the reductions were made to align with the reduced tuition fees, as well as the cancellation of housing and meals. In addition, for our undergraduate studies program, as many of you know, the amounts vary from year to year, and many students were eligible this year. This is something we're really proud of, that most students were able to achieve that 3.25 GPA in the FAFSA completion date. So because of that, yes, awards were reduced this year to align with those changes. Also, the volume of students who are currently approved for the program.
Ms. Cheney, as always, thank you. Mr. Stotts, thank you both so much for your time here this afternoon. I know you both are extremely busy, and I thank you for the time for both you and your team. Given the amount of work going on right now, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm now going to appropriately move the program on and get my fantastic colleague over in the Office of Student Accounts, Ms. Latonia Thompson, to talk about how we go ahead and move our students through the financial enrollment process, and they can go ahead and get themselves ready for fall 2020. Ms. Thompson, take it over.
Hey everybody. Hey y'all, I miss y'all. I miss seeing y'all come to my office. I miss seeing y'all walk down the promenade. But now that I've got that out the way, let's talk about what y'all really want to know. How do I get enrolled? Why am I not enrolled? How do I set up a payment plan? So let's start off with first, next slide, please. Yeah, here we go. Payment plans. So as most of you know, all of you guys are continuing students on this platform. And as you know, now, once you log into Banner Web, there is not a link that says account detail for term. So a lot of the questions that I'm getting and the rest of the student accounts team are getting is, hey, how do I find out what my charges are? I don't see the link that says account detail for term, right? But the information is still there. When you log on to Banner Web, you're going to go to Student Services, Financial Aid, Student Records, just like you would. The only change is when you get to that Student Records page, you're going to select the link that says Student Account Payment. If you've already been there, you know we have this new pretty platform that's very much so user-friendly. It has all your charges laid out. It has some really cool features. If we have parents on the call, students can now make you an authorized user. You can go in and do a whole lot of cool stuff, right? But when you go to account detail, and if you haven't been there, take some time today and log into the system so you can kind of feel around and see what's going on with it. So once you go to Student Records, you're going to select the link that says Student Account Payment. Once you select the link that says Student Account Payment, it's going to prompt you to log in with your full Clark Atlanta University email address and password. Once you get there, you'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see your charges. You'll be able to see your financial aid. You'll be able to set up a payment plan if you need to. You'll be able to see everything that you need to see. And I think it's set up for the past 6 semesters. So you'll be able to see all of your activity for the past 6 semesters. Now, I know that some of y'all are doing it, going into the system and playing with it as I'm talking, and that's great. And since we're talking about that, one of the other questions that we're getting is, why am I still being charged for housing and meals? So you guys are not being charged for housing and meals. So so I think where some of those questions are coming from is, you guys are looking at your financial aid and you're looking at the estimated cost of attendance. And on that screen, you're seeing, I don't know, miscellaneous and all these other different charges. Those are estimates. Though that goes into your budget for the cost of attendance that the financial aid team and we use to generate your financial aid award package. That's just an estimate. To see what your actual charges are, to see the 10% tuition discount that's been applied to your account, to see where all the mandatory fees have been taken off your accounts, to see all of the changes that we've made to try to make this fall semester a little bit more affordable and a little bit more realistic for our students. I'm encouraging everybody right now, once we get off of this call or now, because I know some of us are able to multitask, log into, and I'm going to beat y'all over the head with it, log into Banner Web, Student Services, Financial Aid, Student Records, Student Account Payments. Log in and take a look around and you'll be able to see some of the changes. I know that I just saw some of the questions coming into the chat and I was actually replying to some of them as the financial aid was doing their presentation. Everybody wants to know about the payment plans. And that's why it's the first slide that we put up was about the payment plans, because everybody wants to know, hey, how do we sign up for a payment plan? What's the term of the payment plan? And all of these different things. So once you log into Banner Web, Student Service, y'all say it with me, Banner Web, Student Services Financial Aid, Student Records, Student Account Payment. At the top of that page, you're going to see a link that says payment plans. Right now, the only option that's open is the 5-month payment plan. And as you guys know, since all of you are continuing students, you can look at the dates and see that we had to push some of the dates back because we still wanted to allow all the families and all the students an opportunity to have the 5-month, the 4-month, and the 3-month payment plans. The payment plan is exactly the same as it's been in previous semesters. You have to make your first payment plus your $70 enrollment fee to become enrolled for the semester. Once you do that, your enrollment status will be updated within 24 hours. How do I know if I'm enrolled? So when you log into Banner Web, Student Services and Financial Aid, Student Records, the very, very first link on that page says verify my enrollment status. Now, when you select on that link, you're going to see two things. Either you're going to be enrolled, and if you are enrolled, it says, congratulations, you're enrolled. If you're not enrolled, it says you are currently not enrolled for the fall semester. If your status says you are enrolled, you're good. You're ready for classes. Let's go ahead and order our books. We're ready. If your status says currently you are not enrolled for fall 2020 semester, let's talk about some of the things that you can do to complete the enrollment process, right? So thank you for changing the slide. One of the things that you can do is verify that your financial aid, you have enough financial aid to cover all of your charges. If you are an undergrad student and you're taking between 12 to 18 hours and you have enough financial aid to cover all of your charges, then you will be automatically enrolled once all of those processes have been completed. Another way that you can complete the financial enrollment process is to set up a payment plan. And currently right now, like I said, we're on a 5-month payment plan until the end of August. In September, it's going to move to a 4-month payment plan. And for the first couple of weeks in October, you're going to have an option to do a 3-month payment plan. Another question that we're getting a lot of is, when is the last day to be enrolled? When do I have to pay? What do I need to do to get my laptop? So let me tackle the first two that I know, and I'll leave the laptop conversation for the laptop experts, because that's not me, okay? So the first thing you need to do is, when do I need to become financially enrolled? Classes are purging for all non-financially enrolled students on August the 18th. You need to have all your fees paid by August the 18th. You need to have your payment plan and your first payment paid by August the 18th. On August the 18th, that's when the classes are going to purge for all the non-financially enrolled students. Okay, so I can't get enrolled by August the 18th. I had to make my house payment on August the 1st. I got to pay my car payment and my other bills on the 15th. I'm not going to be able to set up my payment plan until September the 1st. Okay, the payment plans are still open. However, if you are not enrolled by August the 18th, your classes will be purged. Once your classes are purged, there will be a $100 late registration fee added to your account if your classes purge prior to purge on August the 18th. And I'm going to keep saying that, right? Because a lot of the things that we're getting now is it's hard to get in contact with somebody. We can't get the right information. And I just want to use this time as an opportunity to put everything that I have out there so that all of you guys can know just as much as I do, right? So another decision that the university made when we made the decision to go fully online was we were like, you know what? Hey, we're going to be fully online. It doesn't make sense for us to charge all the students, all the on-campus mandatory fees for fall 2020 semester. Hey, it doesn't make sense for us to charge housing when we're not going to have anybody on campus. So what did we do? For the mandatory fees, we took off all of the on-campus mandatory fees. No one, and I know you guys are checking it as I'm speaking, no one has any online. You shouldn't see an activity fee or athletic fee. You shouldn't see any of that because I went into the system and I updated it back in June. So now you should only see 2 fees on your account. Graduate and undergraduate students. You should see tuition and, you should see 3 charges. I'm sorry. You should see tuition. You should see a $325 mandatory fee. And you should also see a line item that says tuition discount. If you are in, go back to the health insurance. If you are an undergraduate student, your link said, your charge says tuition undergraduate discount. If you are a grad student, it says graduate tuition discount, and that's 10% all the way across the board. And I know I'm pushing for time, so let me hurry up. Some of the other questions that we're getting is, hey, I'm covered under my mom and dad's insurance through their job, or I have my own job, I have my own student health insurance. For all of the undergraduate students, once you register for 12 to 18 hours, if you're looking at Banner Web, Student Services and Financial Aid, Student Records, Student Account Payment, you will see that you have a charge for student health insurance. Hey, I don't want to pay for something I already have. How do I get this health insurance off my account? If you're looking at the screen right now, take a picture of it, screenshot it, whatever that you need to do. This is going to tell you how to opt out of the university's health insurance. Now, when you go to the link, you will have to have a copy of your your health insurance card, because it's going to ask for some very specific information, such as the policy number, the group number, the name of the person that you're covered under. Once you go through that process, there will be a series of maybe 7 or 8 questions that you have to answer. Once you go through that process, you will know immediately if your waiver has been approved or if your waiver has been declined. Once you receive that email saying that your waiver has been approved, that charge will automatically come off your account within 24 hours. And I'm moving right along. So the other thing I want to talk about is we also receiving some emails from students saying, hey, when I log into the health insurance portal, it's showing that my information is not found. The reason that it's doing that is because you have to be registered for 48 hours before you can log into the system to waive out the health insurance. So if you register today, which is Monday, by Wednesday, you should be able to log in and do your health insurance waiver. Once your waiver is approved, you will also get an email from United Healthcare saying that your waiver was approved. Once you get that, we'll also get it, and within the next 24 hours, that health insurance waiver will come off that health insurance charge will come off your account. Next slide, please. The cost. So this is a little blurry, just because of the way that it was done, but the information is here. If you really want to get a clearer information on what the charges are. All of the charges are on the student account webpage. Go to cau.edu, and in the search bar, you can type in, you can type in student accounts. On that student accounts page, it has the fee chart that we're looking at now. It has all the information on how to make a payment, how to do a health insurance waiver, how to do a payment plan, how to do all of those different things that we're talking about now. Do I have another slide? This is a bill payment overview information. I know it's kind of blurry, but it's also on the student account webpage, and it shows you how to go in and navigate your payment plan and see what your payments are, verify your financial aid, see your anticipated refund amount. Speaking of refunds, if you are on this page and you see a number at the bottom of the page and it has a negative sign in it, in front of it, that means that you have a credit on your account. That means you do not owe anything. Again, if you're on this page, when you actually log in, student services and financial aid, student records, student account payment will take you here. If you have a negative sign in front of that base number at the bottom of this page, that means you do not owe anything. Once you get on this page, you'll be able to see your everything. You'll be able to see everything that you want to see. I just thought about something else too, as far as the health insurance waiver. The deadline for the health insurance waiver is August the 31st. Next slide, Pete, please. Keep going. Okay, here we are. The part I've been waiting for, the question and answer. Turn it back over to Dean Torres.
Ms. Thompson, as always, thank you. I think you were significantly clear, but let's go ahead and reiterate. If a student qualifies for a refund, when should they be expecting that?
Okay, let me pull up my calendar, because I know y'all finna screenshot it, video it, do all of that. So I want to make sure that I'm giving y'all the right dates for the refunds. And now that we're talking to the continuing student body population, you guys know that we do partial refunds. Classes are going to start on August the 19th. Partial refunds are going to be issued starting on August the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. And depending upon the volume, I may add another day on the 28th. But the student partial refunds are going to start being issued on the 25th, 26th, 27th. How do I know if I'm getting a partial refund? You need to check your Banner web. It's too early to do it now. Classes haven't even started. We're already getting questions about refunds. Let's talk about getting our books first, right? Let's get our books first. Let's get into classes, and we can work on this refund process after the main point of business is being taken care of. And that's two things: getting enrolled and being successful in our fall classes, right? So I know the next question, Dean Torres, is, okay, I got that piece about the partials. When am I getting all my money, right? Pull this back up on my calendar. The university will start issuing full refunds on start on the 19th, September the 4th. The first batch of full refunds will start being issued on September the 4th. And again, I'm going to keep saying this because you guys are continuing students. You know how the process works. Refunds will be issued out every Friday, and the refunds will be issued to you via your Bank Mobile Vibe account, whether you have that money going to your personal checking account or whether you have it going to your Bank Mobile account. Your preferences do not change from semester to semester. So if you've already set up your Bank Mobile and you have it going to your personal checking account, your money will continue to go to your personal checking account. If you have it going to your Bank Mobile Vibe account, it will continue to go to your Bank Mobile Vibe account until you log in and you make a change.
Ms. Thompson, I'm going to have Ms. Gibson, actually, if she wouldn't mind unmuting herself. I want to have both of you be available for this inquiry, because we got a few inquiries regarding when is the purge date going to take effect, and will classes actually be purged, or will students be purged from their classes the day before? In this case being August 18th, 2020.
Yes, we always purge the day before classes. That's what Ms. Thompson shared. You must be financially enrolled by the 18th. Normally, we purge at close of business, 5 o'clock on the 18th. That gives us the opportunity to reset the system. And even if you're purged, there will be a process. That's why we ask you to make sure you check your CAU emails, because there will be a process that you need to follow in order to be reinstated.
The purge date for all non-financially enrolled students was August the 18th at 5 o'clock p.m.
Yeah, how about that?
I wanted to make sure I got the right partners together for that particular moment. So thank you. Ms. Thompson, as always, it's always phenomenal to be in the same space with you. So thank you. And at this time, as part of our jam session to hopefully close us out at this time, I'm now going to turn the table over to our Associate Vice President and Chief Information Officer, Mr. Charles Cooper.
All right, all right.
All right.
Hello, good afternoon, Panther Nation. This is Charles Cooper, your Chief Information Officer, or your IT leader, as we say it. Let's move into our presentation on the technology. Can I see the first slide, please? So, under Dr. French's leadership, the university will be providing all financially enrolled students with free laptops. I reiterate, free laptops, a gift from the university to you. So what we need from you, we need for you to update your current address in Banner Web, your laptop update. Please go out and verify that your address is correct. We would like to begin shipping those laptops tomorrow morning. You can expect to receive them by Thursday. We'll be doing 2-day standard shipping, and you should receive them by Thursday. So please, we need for you during this call or immediately after to verify your laptop address. The second, if you have any issues related to your laptop, they should call Dell for direct support, and I'll go over that in the last slide. Hotspots. If you have shoddy internet access or no internet access at all, we can provide you with a hotspot, a 5 gig or 10 gig hotspot that allows you to connect to internet so you can continue your studies. What we need for you to do is send an email to caulaptop.cau.edu, as you see on the slide, letting us know that you need a hotspot. And additionally, if you're having any technical issues related to hotspot or the laptop updating your address, you can send an email to us stating in the subject line, technical difficulties, and we will respond back to you within 24 to 48 hours. At the end of this semester, the hotspots will be deactivated. They will no longer work, but you can hold on to your hotspot, and at the beginning of the next semester, if we're still remote, we will reactivate the hotspot for you. So please hold on to it if you may need it next semester. Last slide. As I mentioned about the laptops, they're free gifts. And I also want to mention that they have a 4-year warranty. So I know some of you have mentioned that you don't want the laptop. It is a gift. It is yours. It does not come out of your tuition. It is a gift from the university. Please accept our gift to you. It has a 4-year warranty. So you're able to get technical support, hardware replacement over the next 4 years. And we all know about technology, it fails at times. So if your laptop goes down, you can get your laptop that the university provided you, and you don't miss a beat in terms of study. Okay, so please accept our gift. If you have any issues with that laptop, you can contact Dell through support.dell.com. You can do a chat session, you can do a phone call, or you can submit an email and they will respond to you. They also will have on-site support. So if you have a hardware issue, they will dispatch a technician to your house, or you can work out an arrangement where a technician can come out and help you with your laptop. If you have any related IT support issues, such as Canvas, banners, you follow your normal channels. You call the support number at 404-880-6482, or you can email us at support@cau.edu. And that wraps up my technical update at the moment. Turn it back over to you, Dean Torres.
Mr. Cooper, as always, thank you. One of the clarifying questions that we have is when an individual goes back into Banner Web to update their mailing address, how is it particularly labeled to update their address? Is it labeled a specific way? Is there a particular section in Banner that they're looking for to update their mailing address?
It should say laptop address. It's a new field that was created that states, it says laptop address. They must go in there and update that field, or make sure that or put it in that field and make sure it's correct.
And it looks like we're getting one of those inquiries that I know might be tough for you to say, but if we financially enroll at a later date, will we still have access to a laptop?
Yes, you still will have access to that laptop. Where we will do, as you get closer to the semester, we will ship that laptop to you overnight. But it's an incentive that you get financially enrolled before the start of class.
Well, Mr. Cooper, that seems to be the bunch of questions that we have, particularly for the OITC section of the program. So thank you. One of the things we will note, we do have a lot of questions regarding books, and we apologize that we could not have anyone join us from the books from the campus store this evening. We will make sure that we get those answers over to Ms. Rose Jackson, the manager of our campus store, and she will go ahead and respond to those inquiries accordingly. Although there is a technical director here on this call who can provide an answer to those students, particularly regarding books. So potentially Dr. Hooper, for those that don't know, who's our Associate Vice President for Online Learning and Continuing Education, she may go ahead and engage via email. And as always, Dr. Hooper, I am significantly thankful for you being in the space and for picking up some of those inquiries. A lot of the inquiries we received here this afternoon were specifically related to financial aid. So I know that we could not get to all the inquiries regarding financial aid, but I will say this, a lot of the financial aid inquiries were specifically personal in context. So I want to ensure all the students participating in the program this afternoon that we will ensure that the team in financial aid receives your inquiries, and the team in financial aid, and again, I thank both Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney for being in the space here with us this afternoon, but they will work with their respective teams to ensure that there's a response available for your inquiry. And if there's additional information that they need, they will ensure to get back to you between now and the end of the week so that we can make sure we get you financially enrolled for the fall. So please note that I am saying that on behalf of both Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney, that they will work with their team to ensure they get you set up for fall 2020. Looking at the clock and looking at the time, we have obviously come to the close of our fall 2020 continuing enrollment session, information session this afternoon. I want to specifically thank the colleagues that we have here on the space this afternoon. Again, thank you to Ms. Gibson. Thank you to Mr. Stotts and Ms. Cheney. Thank you to Ms. Thompson, and thank you to Mr. Cooper. I also want to thank both Dean Peters and Dean Sadler for being here in the space to offer their opening remarks. Again, for our students, particularly our continuing students, this Panther Nation is not going to let you down. We recognize that there's been a lot of changes due to this COVID-19 pandemic. And please recognize, and I think a number of my colleagues specifically spoke to this, we would rather be on campus, engaging with you, whether it be in Haven Warren, would it be in McFeeters Dennis, or would it be in Trevor Arnett? We'd prefer to be on the ground with you and actually engaging with you and your families in person. Unfortunately, due to this pandemic and due to the fantastic and phenomenal leadership of our executive cabinet under the leadership of President French, we knew that the right call for this fall semester was to go ahead and protect everybody, including our colleagues, our professional colleagues here in this space. We really want to make sure that folks are protecting themselves, that they're staying healthy and safe, and that our goal, and this came up as some of the questions through our Q&A, our goal is to get everybody back on the ground in January so we could start the spring 2021 semester successfully on the right foot and in person come February 1st, 2021. And I want Ms. Gibson to know that because I pay attention to the academic calendar, because I know there's been a couple of questions about that as well. So again, my thanks and my continuous prayers to all of you, and thank you all for taking your time out this afternoon to be a part of this session. At this time, I want to make sure that I appropriately turn it over as we close out this session, just like we brought it in. I want to appropriately turn it over to our university chaplain, Reverend Dr. Miles, for our sending forth. Reverend Dr. Miles.
Thank you, Dean Torres. Brothers and sisters, I hope that this has been informative for you. We are a family, ups and downs, highs and lows, good times, bad times, those times when you want to pull your hair out. There's something that binds us together, and that's love, that's care, and a genuine feeling that one person wants the best for another. From President French to everyone on this call, to the people that you do not see, know that we care about you and we want nothing but the best for you. Yeah, this is a process that is probably more difficult than one that we've ever been through, but you're continuing students, and so God has brought you through before. And so we ask and we hope that you will trust that God will bring you through this as well, that God will bring all of us through this time. And so as you go forward, trust and believe, as Amaya and Daryl sang in the beginning, that God is going to do something bigger and better than where we were. Where we're headed is amazing, and God is going to blow our minds. We only have to hold on, trust, and look out for the way in which God is going to do it. So stay faithful, stay hopeful, keep your eyes open, and trust that it is going to be good. Go forward, do amazing things this semester, and we look forward to seeing you on the promenade again soon. Peace.
Listen, class of 2020, I understand it doesn't feel good right now. And I know it seems like you don't know how God is going to make a way. But listen, you have to put your trust in the hands of the Master and understand that everything God has for you, it's going to be big. Come on, Amaya, say. I believe that it's my